They are the misfits of the vampire world. The Lost Boys. This was a Patreon request from Gypsy Girl 69. You have to donate $5. I'm probably going to push it down a little bit eventually to request a movie review, but you get 3 movie reviews that you can choose any movie you want. Horror, action, or western, or anything like that. If you donate $1, you get a chance to see videos that are not on here, like body counts and music videos. I'm planning on doing my Sapphire Creatures music video and putting it up on there at some point, number 12. And yeah, just check it out. I mean, I don't bat. But let's get into the movie review. This is the 1987 Joel Schumacher directed horror comedy about teenage vampires and rockin' 80s tunes. The plot, as the trailer says, Michael and Sam have just moved to Santa Carla, California. They're about to learn its secret. There's vampires, man! And they're cool. Now, Michael must stop the vampire menace, and with the help of the Frog Brothers and his brother Sam, must uncover the head vampire. It's a vampire tale, set in the 80s. I mean, you got these cool, handsome, dare I say, sexy vampires. But it's done better than Twilight or any other kind of movie like that could ever do. Let's get into their wardrobe. I mean, most of them are wearing black dusters or whatever, or black long coats, have a whole bunch of jewelry on, their hair done up. It's the 80s, and they're vampires. It's fun to be a vampire in the 80s. Probably not the 90s, or the 2000s, or the 1920s or 30s, or before that. You know what? Just stick with being a vampire in the 80s and then stake yourself. I mean, not promoting vampire suicide. Michael, played by Jason Patric, is our main character. He's the older brother of a family of 3, and he's looking for a job. Then he looks for a girl he saw at a concert. He eventually finds her with the vampires, and he joins the vampire clan, and you got vampires. Sam, played by Corey Haim from Watchers, that's probably the most obscure reference I could give for Corey Haim, but it's a cool movie, is the younger brother of the family of 3, who sells it as that younger brother who's just not really a pain, but you can tell he's going to be cool. He's going to be a cool older dude. He's trying to help his brother, and he hires the Frog Brothers, Edgar and Alan. Edgar Frog, played by Corey Feldman from Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and the beginning of part 5. Was really good friends with Corey Haim, but Corey Haim actually passed away, I'd say about 10 years ago. I'm not quite sure, but it was really sad. He was trying to get his life back on track, and then I don't remember exactly how he died. It was like a flu or something, or pneumonia. I don't remember, but it was sad. But back in the 80s and 90s, they were the 2 Coreys. And Corey Feldman really got into the character of Edgar Frog. He's the John Rambo of the vampire hunter world. Alan Frog, played by Jameson Newlander, who was actually the football jock in the Blob remake, which was really cool, actually. I found that out and I was like, oh yeah, that's Alan Frog. He, I don't know. He didn't have as much charisma as Edgar and Sam did, but he was a fun character. Regardless, he has some cool lines like, well, he looks cool. He and his brother Edgar own a comic shop in Santa Carla, California. I'm trying to come up with positive things to say about Alan Frog. He does say some funny things. I just can't remember them for the life of me. David, played by Kiefer Sutherland. Try saying Kiefer Sutherland 5 times fast. I dare you. Is the really cool vampire. He's the main guy of the young vampire group. He has some really interesting characteristics. Like, he's always playing tricks on Michael at first. You're eating maggots, Michael. How do they taste? I mean, you can't beat it. You can't beat him. who is in the Three Musketeers from the 90s of all things. As I said, he's dressed in black, earrings, and the spiked hair. It's just a really cool looking dude. I have a lot more characters to get into, and I've been going on for way too long. We have Star, played by Jamie Gertz from Twister, 1996, where she played the upcoming fiance, wife character of... Was it Bill Paxton in that movie? I think it was Bill Paxton. And then we have Lucy, played by Diane West. Who the hell was Lucy? Oh, the mother. Max, played by Edward Herman, who, is really tall. Grandpa, played by Bernard Hughes. Supporting cast, we have the three other Lost Boys. This is going on forever. Paul, Dwayne, and Marco. I believe one of them played in Death Wish 3. I know one of them did. I just don't remember which one. Probably Marco. Yeah. Laddie, the kid vampire, who was played by Chance Michael Corbett. It was produced by Richard Donner, who directed the Lethal Weapon movies, The Goonies, and The Omen 1976. He was actually going to direct, but things came up. Joel Schumacher took over. What is this movie at its core? This movie is celebrating the 80s, having fun in that decade. And you never grow old, you never die, you never know fear again. Until the 90s came. This is just celebrating how much fun you could have had in the 80s if you were cool. If you were overweight like me, gay, lesbian, I'm sorry. But the 80s were a fun time for some, a horrible time for others, an okay time for most. Just the 80s. And I don't want to get into the 80s right now. I didn't grow up in the 80s. I've researched it a lot and listened to a lot of other people's thoughts on it that have grown up back then. So, yeah. But if you're like Kiefer Sutherland, you had fun in the 80s. This had an $8.5 million budget. It made $32 million at the box office. And they even had sequel desires back then, The Lost Girls of all things, which is trying to be made into an actual thing now, which I'm not too happy about. There's even a novelization. I couldn't get my hands on it, but apparently it changes or expands upon a lot of things. The gore, the effects, get a bloody scalp bite where blood sprays out for like 2 seconds. The vampires get it the worst in this whole movie. They melt, they explode, they get impaled. It's a nasty time for the vampires. The motion picture soundtrack. Now, Thomas Newman composed some really good music for this movie, and it always gets overshadowed by the music in the movie, like songs used in the movie. He made some quite chilling music for The Lost Boys. But every time I hear People Are Strange, I just think of Michael and Sam walking around in the streets of Santa Carla, California. You can't escape it. I mean, Echo and the Bunnymen did a great job, but People Are Strange. I don't know if they did it for this movie, but I know G. Tom Mack did Cry Your Little Sister for this movie, and that song has become iconic. So, what do I think about The Lost Boys as a whole? It's perfect for its time. It's got a lot of fun things. There's some cool kills, gore for the vampires, not so much for the humans. We have fun characters, cool dialogue, cool wardrobe. It's just an 80s movie, really. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I do give props. There is some great camera work, lighting. It's just a lot of fun. And at 97 minutes, it always flies right by. Can't argue with that, man. The Lost Boys will always be a classic to some, and a marvel to others. And I fall on the line of saying that it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I keep on saying that, but I'm gonna push it that it is a lot of fun for a late 80s movie. It got away with a little, and it showed a lot of passion and heart and drive to make this movie. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna have to say that overall I give The Lost Boys a 3 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and Lion Brian Gatto, the horror show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page, and to support me on Patreon, even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, the notification bell, and thank you, Gypsy Girl 69, for recommending this movie. I'll do the other two, then you can pick your other 2 movies. Yeah. And subscribe.